Welcome back to the About That Water podcast show, Trading Thursday. So today's we're going to talk about some amazing stocks that's coming up to watch, at least for the next week, as the U.S. president inauguration is coming up. Now, one of the things that I want to discuss is that the stock market went down quite a bit on Tuesday. Then, when the impeachment came around I would say like 3:30-ish, 3:40, right before the market closes, it shoots back up. So my thing is politics also influence, your trading as well? So it's almost like you can't just watch the company itself, but you also have to watch how politics are being played out. Then on top of that, you have to also watch how the media is bringing a lot of these stocks to the forefront, aka like CNBC Money or Fox Business. They also try to, bring forward some of the stocks, the big movers, the big losers. I even use Webull at times just to kind of see what are the hot stocks that are out there right now. And I have to say that the ones that they have available, they do okay. It just really means like high volume. I'm talking about Webull at this point. Just looking at what they have available, it's the typical stuff. Like, you have Tesla, you have your Neo, and then you have the company that I like, which is Sundial, I don't know. Yeah, Sundial Growers, which is a weed company. Their ticker is S as in Sam, N as in Nancy, D as in Delta, L as in Libra. Now, their stock price right now is 65 cents. I believe just last week I was talking about them and they were around 50 cents. So either way, you got a nice lovely increase if you decided to follow me and invest inside this company. I went on and bought about 2,000 shares of it because I feel as though the market is still new. And then with the transition of presidents, you are also bringing in the motion that a lot of people want to have more weed available and actually make that a legalized thing. So I think the awesome way to actually get a lot of the stimulus money back is to legalize marijuana and tax it. That is kind of like one of the ways to bring back income for all the stimulus checks that were going out. Then on top of that, you hear about, we haven't heard about it recently, but I think it is going to come up in 2021, which is to tax soda drinks. Now, the only issue with taxing soda and sugary drinks is that when it comes to food deserts, that's all they have available for the most part. They don't have access to fresh fruit juices or just other types of water that is out there, vitamin water or pH balanced water. You're only limited to the corner store, and then it's just not that the corner stores are there. They also jack up the price because they have a smaller volume, and most grocery stores only make about 1% to 2% gross as far as profit. So it's a very thin margin for a grocery store to come into such areas. So that's why you got to look at it as a holistic thing. But I don't want to dive too far into markets. Speaking of markets, let's get back into the stock market. So looking at Sundial, which is sitting at 65 cents. The next company that I like to talk about is CGC. The reason why I'm talking about CGC is because they've been really quiet since COVID. Now, keep in mind, CGC is also the company that Martha Stewart, along with, I believe, Snoop Dogg as well, Have invested in this company, I think, in its early infancy when it was around $8 or so. And so since then, when it came out back in 2016, which was about $2, I think I started investing with them when they jumped up to about $14, $15. And I sold off quite a few when they started dropping around 2018. And then I just recently started buying back in when they got back down to 14, 15 late last year. So right now they sit in at $32.18, which is great. So I would say those are the two stocks that I'm currently invested in, and I highly recommend to keep them on your radar if you're not looking at anything at this point. They do not have dividends. So if you're looking for dividend stocks, these are not the ones. I'm sure there are some other ones out there, but I'm looking for something I can cash in and reinvest somewhere else. All right. So the next company, let's go move on to the tech industry. Of course, Tesla's up there. Tesla recently started losing some money. The reason why their stock started to fall is because they have the recalls on the Model S and the Model X. What is happening is that the module inside the touchscreens are dying out, which means that the read and write function on the monitors is actually going bad. What happens is with RAM, it only can read and write so many times. And I guess the Tesla has a lot of reading and writing. And because they are using flash memory, which means that there are no moving parts, that will cause the RAM to either A, max out its read and write, so much so that it becomes not usable. And then the only way to get around it is to actually heat up the modules so they can actually burn out the sessions. However, that technology is not available. It's not widely available right now to kind of fix that issue. So the only thing I can think of that they will have to do to fix these is to pretty much remove the RAM, put in brand new RAM, and then upload the Teslas with the latest stuff. But I don't know why they would drop so much right now. Honestly, I mean, it's only 10% of the vehicles that are having the issue. Granted, this is going to be a long-term issue as you go on, but it's just like any other vehicle, they're going to have through maintenance. And luckily, they calling it a recall, so you can get your money worth with this one. All right, so the next one is NIO. NIO is looking pretty nicely. They have recently skyrocketed within the past 5 days. So they went from $53 up to $63, so $10 increase per share within 5 days is not bad if you have about 100 of these. So like $600 you just made. I mean, say if you bought it at $500, you bought it and it's now worth $600. Made yourself a smooth $100 within 5 days. Not bad. Again, this company does not have dividends, but the cool thing with NIO is that I have a feeling that they are going to continue on and try to push for the $80 range come March. I'm really thinking a lot of stuff is going to happen in March again because we do have the second strand of COVID coming around, but China is keeping things quiet when it comes to the results of their infectious rates. So I'm curious to see how this works out. If things stay quiet for a while regarding COVID and it doesn't hit the US as heavy, then plus the vaccines and such, I really think that NIO can push 80 come March. Now, my lovely favorite stock since 2021, and I discovered it about, I say, like 2 weeks ago. And I think I did mention it on this show a couple times, which is GOGO. And it's GOGO. That's the stock, that's the ticker price. The reason why I like this particular company is because it is an in-flight company, meaning computer company for the internet in the sky. So this is like a subscription-based service. So when you go on planes and they say, well, you have to turn off your cell phone, put it in airplane mode. You can turn on the Wi-Fi and connect to the Wi-Fi that's on the plane. Well, GOGO Air is trying to master that space. They currently have about 500 business aircrafts right now. They are already in Delta, United, Alaska, and Air Canada already. So, and United Airlines and Delta Airlines are doing really well right now in the stock market. They still low because a lot of people aren't flying right now. But I think once the airline industry kicks back in the gear, GOGO is going to take off right along with it. Now, keep in mind that GOGO is planning on doing 5G technology come 2021. So look out for that as well. And speaking of 5G, there is a lot of stuff going on with 5G in the works. AT&T, T-Mobile, and I want to say Verizon are fighting for 5G space. So right now their stocks are low. This is on a Wednesday as I'm recording this. But Thursday, when you receive this, as you're listening to it, I would definitely say either this week, I think it's going to continue low because I don't think they're going to release the results until maybe Friday night. So I would say definitely buy any one of these wireless companies. I'm going with Verizon because Verizon has been pretty strong with that. I mean, T-Mobile seems to be very hot right now, but I am curious on how that's going to play out. And AT&T is just kind of in the mix. It's just one of the oldest ones, the oldest trusted companies. So it's just kind of that hit and miss. But I think Verizon, whatever cell phone carrier you have, I would say if you're paying your bill monthly, even if you have prepaid, at least slide over $10 to invest in the company so you can actually reap some of these benefits because they do have dividends. So why not get paid to use the phone that you're already paying for? It just makes sense. So a recap of the stocks for today is Tesla. Right now they're going down. So be on the lookout to buy them come Monday or Friday. But definitely by Wednesday of next week. Buy NEO. NEO is sitting up right now. It's looking lovely. It's at 62 right now. I have a feeling they're going to go up to 80. They might have a small dip, maybe by like $1 or $2, but I think it's going to continue rising. We got GOGO, which is one of my favorite companies right now. They are sitting at $11. It's very cheap. So, and that is an increase from, let's see, like 1 month ago, they were at like $9 and some change. So it's slow growth right now. But if you think about it, Tesla was just about the same. And I'm looking at it 6 months out back, and it was at $3.25. So they already got almost 3 times, so 300% increase since July 14th, 2020. So it's already almost a 300% increase. So why not jump into it now? I really think this stock is going to skyrocket as soon as the airline industry gets booming again. Now, the very last ones, the last 2 companies, which are the weed companies, which is Sundial Growers. Their ticker is SNDL, which is S as in Sam, N as in Nancy, D as in Delta, L as in Libra, and CGC, which is cat, gorilla, cat. I mean, I guess we're gonna go with that. So CGC stock right now, let's see what they get the actual name. It's called the Canopy Growth Corporation. Remember, this one is backed by Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg. So be on the lookout for this. I really have a strong feeling that this company is going to take off a lot better than what it did in the past. So, especially with the new change in politics. All right, everybody, let's get back to the rest of the day. I wish you all the best in your stock portfolio. If you got anything out of this and you really want to support the show, please subscribe, tell somebody about the show, and continue to listen to the rest of the episodes that I have on here. I do try to, give a lot of variety, uh, different strategies to kind of help you continue on to be the most valuable person in your life. Because financially, this stuff really matters. You got this. I'm here rooting for you. I'm sure a lot of people out here rooting for you. So don't give up. It's a stepping stone. It took you a lot to get into debt. It's going to take you a lot to get out of debt. And while you're investing, keep in mind that companies do go out of business. So keep that in mind. When you're doing individual stocks, I try to bring in some ETFs as well. Some index funds come in a little later. But today is just focus on the growers and the companies to keep an eye out on. All right, everybody. Y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching and listening to the About That Wallet podcast. Well, that concludes this episode of About That Wallet. I hope this topic was helpful. If you want to get the latest episodes, please subscribe to this podcast wherever you're listening to it. Remember, it is your duty to know about that wallet. Take care, be safe. I'm out. Peace.